Morning, guys. Morning, Frankie. Morning, Jesus. You're right, Jesus. We don't stop. It's not easy all the time. You're right. You're right. It's not easy. And that's why most people don't do it. Cold City was just doing some 3, 6, 9, 12. 3 pulls, 6 pushes, 9 squats, and then 12 knee to elbows to hit that core a little bit. Got the weight vest going. Just to pump it up a little bit. We'll keep the vest going for a while, for a few reps, for a few rounds. So just 3, 6, 9, 12. Pull, push, squat, and then a core. That's it. Appreciate everybody being here. Thanks, Jesus. Appreciate you being here, brother. I appreciate you stopping in. Good morning, Hive Mind. Appreciate you being here, brother. Thanks for stopping in. Never smoke weed, Jesus. The last time I smoked a joint, I was 19 years old. And I'm 60 right now. So the last time I got high was 41 years ago. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't miss it. Always made me paranoid when I was a kid. I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest with you. Not to say I didn't replace it with drinking over the years. I certainly did my share of drinking. Weisenhar. Back at you. I appreciate you popping in. Who did I? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I think that's a genetic thing. I don't know. Thanks, Faison. Yeah, I am 60. October 1963. Guys, we're just doing a couple of weighted moves, pull, push, squat, and then a couple of knee to elbows for the core and a few swings with the mace bell. That mace hits everything, guys. Thanks, Jesus. I can assure you, though, I am 60. And I do feel it most of the time. Go get it, Jesus. Make sure you get your reps in. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate your kind words. Hope you have a good day. Vegan, I try to stick to mostly whole foods. I eat meat, I eat fish, basically sardines, sprinkle in some tuna, lots and lots of eggs, yogurt, Greek yogurt, skyr, which is the Icelandic yogurt. I stopped drinking alcohol some years back, which I think was one of the best moves that anybody can make. I think that really, really ages you a lot, not only physically but mentally. I think it slowly destroys your body over time. But anyway, giving that up, I think was a real good step. Yeah, just sticking to whole foods. I eat a lot of fruit, throw in some vegetables. I like my sweet potatoes. I don't drink soda. I drink black coffee. I drink green tea. I drink water. Sometimes some sparkling water. San Pellegrino, some type of mineral water. And that's really about it. And I stick to that. And I do my exercise as often as I can. No real greens, no. I stay away from that. I'm not saying they're inherently bad. I guess you can incorporate them in your diet. But just for me, no, I don't. I choose to stay away from them. I get my carbs basically from the sweet potatoes, whatever other vegetables I eat, and again, like fruit and stuff like that. I'll have an occasional couple of slices of sourdough bread, but other than that, no. I don't do oatmeal. I don't do rice. I'm not into quinoa and stuff like that, so. Good morning, Black Cat. Appreciate you being here, my friend. Angels, yeah. The Rottweiler went that way. It's just me here now. What's up, Angel? Did you get those, my friend Angel here, guys, he's the burpee king. Burpees for breakfast. Not Wheaties, you need burpees for breakfast. These, and I do 5 or 6 every time I have them. 5 or 6 is usually my number. If I have some meat with it, sometimes I have some ground beef with the eggs, maybe I'll knock it back to 4. But generally 5 to 6 a day. Hey, so yeah, you're right, brother. It's a horrendous thing. I mean, it's a physical addiction. It's a mental addiction. I've talked about this many times with the drinking. I hit the ground running. I was 14 years old. Started with my 40s in the schoolyard. And I don't want to paint myself as, a fallen down drunk, because I never was. I functioned, but it was just part of my life. Everything I did revolved around drinking. I was in law enforcement for 32 years. And that's what we did. That was the culture. And I was of the mindset that, if you're not drinking, if you're in a crowd of people and they're drinking and you're not drinking, man, there's something going on. Something wrong with you. You have to drink to have a good time, And I just look back over all the years of the hangovers and the damage. You don't realize it, at the time when you're doing it, but it's like compound interest. It just gets worse and worse and worse. You're rotting your liver out. I can go on and on and on, but I know it's a tough one to quit. And I slid back a few times. I promised myself this is it, and then I found myself, with a 3-day hangover all of a sudden. But it's been some years now, and I don't miss 1 second of it. 1 second of it. I wish I had quit years prior, but whatever, the minute you quit, I promise you that from that moment on, it's going to be life-changing for the better, for the much better. That's the shirt, Cat. That's the way that I wore a smaller shirt today, purposely. Angel, brother, that's music to my ears and my eyes reading that sentence. You know that, brother. Don't be part of the crowd. Hey, so, if I'm saying it right, hey, so, I just kept, there were times that I didn't want to drink, and then I went and did it again. I remember one of the last times that I drank, I was around some friends, went to this guy's house that I worked with, and I was there for like 6 hours, and I didn't have a drink, right? And everybody was drinking around me, and I'm like, man, I got this down pat now. I can do this, And sun started going down. I decided, let me have 1 beer. And next thing you know, it's like 4:30 in the morning and I'm sleeping in this guy's driveway in my car, you know? And again, that was like a 2 or 3 day hangover. And I'm just like, after that, I was so disgusted with myself. And again, it's a process, man. It's a process, you know, but you have to keep telling yourself there's light at the end of that tunnel, and it's not. Drinking isn't the way. It's really not, man. It's really not. Waking up with a clear head. You know, I'm 60 and I'm standing here in a park. I got here 5:30 to 6 o'clock this morning. I never, even though I worked out over the course of my life, you know, I'd be home rolled up in a ball right now, or just getting home from the bar at 6 o'clock in the morning. And it's no way to do it. It's really no way to do it. Veasan, I'm absolutely not, I won't go on a whole rant about that, but dietary cholesterol has nothing to do with your cholesterol levels in your body. There's much more to it, and they make cholesterol the boogeyman. You need cholesterol for life. No, I'm not. All I can say is, in a nutshell, absolutely not. I'm not. My cholesterol levels have been fine for years. I eat plenty of red meat. I eat plenty of eggs. So no, it's not an issue with me. David, I do whole eggs. You know, don't forget, the white is just pure protein. There's nothing. The white is the protein, and egg protein is the gold standard when it comes to protein. But the real money, the real nutrients, right? What the nutrients that you want to get out of an egg is in that yolk. So I eat whole eggs. Now, if you're on, let's say you're trying to take some weight off and you're looking at some calories and you want to knock back a few calories, obviously the fat is in the yolk. So there's going to be more calories in that yolk. So I would say go with a couple of whole eggs, and then if you wanted to throw in some egg whites and make an omelet. But people thinking that I'm just going to do an egg white omelet and that's going to be healthy, you're literally throwing gold, you know, into the sink when you get rid of that egg yolk. You really are. Chronic, if you got to work on it, my friend. And again, I'll keep saying it. I know it's a process. I know it's a process, but you'll be so much better off. So much better off. Thanks, Veasan. I appreciate your kind words. I appreciate you being here. GP in the house. Shout out to the Netherlands. Yeah, I absolutely. I think there's definitely some benefit to that, to taking that time off. No doubt, without a doubt. Because there is such thing as doing too much. You know what I mean? The problem is most of us do nothing. So, you know, if you get to the point, you know, if you've really been going at it regularly, you know what I mean, and exercising regularly, doing some resistance training, and whatever type of training you're doing, even if it's running, if you're an avid runner, by all means. And I've done it, you know, I've taken those, sometimes not by choice, but when you do take some time off, a lot of times, you know, when you come back, you actually do feel a little bit stronger. So there is something to be said for that. And you'll hear lifters, like weightlifters, talk about deload weeks. Well, they'll maybe just go really light with something, or maybe do some body weight stuff. But to take time off, you know, even a few days here and there, no doubt, yeah, it's definitely good. You know it, Kat, we eat our eggs. Thanks, hey, so good luck with that, man. Keep trying, you can do it. I appreciate the support. Thanks to you too, David. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the support. Thanks, Ernie. We try, brother. I'm just doing what we do. And like I said, like I was talking earlier, if you weren't here, you know, giving up the alcohol is a great thing. And really watching your diet. You're never going to be 100%. So don't strive to be 100% because you're going to drive yourself nuts. do what you can as often as you can to stay on track. And then, you know, people go Monday to Friday and they say, well, it's Friday now, so I deserve the weekend. I deserve to go off the rails. I deserve to have shit food and alcohol. And what did you do? What did you do Monday to Friday? You went to work? I commend you, but we all go to work. It's part of life, you know? So if you really want to work towards something, if you want to give yourself that day where you want to have some junk food or whatever, but it can't be a constant thing. It can't be a constant thing. You're right, Kat. You do. You got to give the joints, you know, the tendons, everything. Rest is good. You build when you rest. Don't forget what we're doing here, right? When you do resistance training, any type of exercise like that, you're actually breaking down muscle tissue, right? You're not building. When you're working out, you're breaking down, right? So you build back when you rest and when you feed your body the right way. You don't build muscle with Pop-Tarts. You need the good you need the egg protein. You need good complete proteins, which are, you know, again, I don't want to argue with vegans or people that have their way of eating. If you're healthy, I'm not going to argue with you. My way is to look at what's the best sources of complete proteins. And it's always going to be animal proteins, the eggs, the meat, the fish. I eat a lot of yogurt, you know, the dairy. I like I mentioned earlier, skyr and plain Greek yogurt. Vizan, I was a gym guy pretty much my whole life. You know, I would squat back in the day. I would do some deadlifts, bench press, and you know, the basic moves, the basic lifts. And then for some years, I got into doing a lot of dumbbell work. Some years back, I did that program P90X, if you remember that, which is a really good program. It's a good combination of sort of dumbbell lightweight work with body weight work. It really is a good program. But I did that, and then I slowly started to transition into doing some more body weight work. I wish I had done that earlier in my life, because I think there's a lot to be said about doing just straight calisthenics. And you know, you could add weight like I'm doing today. But now, as I stand here now, I'm pretty much a combination of not real heavy weight work. I don't go in looking to do, I want to deadlift 500. I'm not like that. I've been back on the bench lately, trying to build up my bench press. But pretty much everything I do is going to be with dumbbells, a lot of body weight stuff. I'll throw some weight on, you know, when I'm doing it. The other day I did a video, I was doing some weighted dips. Yeah, so no, I'm not, you know, like a typical gym bro where I'm in there like, hey bro, how much can you deadlift and that type of stuff. I really do mix it up. You're right, Goose. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. See, what I always say with the addictions is you break the addiction, the habit or whatever, the bad habit, but it never goes away. It might lay dormant, but it's always like right over your shoulder, ready to come back. So you have to replace it with something else. And you make a good point, like doing stuff like this, training. You make this an addiction. You make this something. Like I always tell people when it comes to exercise, you know, you can't say, you know, am I going to work out today? Am I going to find time to work out? No. You get up, you brush your teeth, you shower, you change your underwear, hopefully. You exercise. It's part of your life. It's a part of your routine. And the more good stuff that you fill your day with, those other demons, that they have a harder time trying to push their way back in, if that makes sense. But I believe they're always there. If you're a smoker, a drinker, drugs, a gambler, name the addiction. It's always, you'll suppress it, you'll beat it back, you'll replace it with something else. But you have to keep on top of, keep those new things in your life, keep those new habits going. And again, you know, people say, well, is that all you do is work out? What are you, addicted? Yeah. Yeah, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. You know, I was addicted to my other lifestyle, and it didn't do anything good for me. Trust me. Exactly. Yeah. Again, if you know that, again, this is what I do. I get up every day, I go to the park, I work out, I go to the gym, I go for my run, whatever it is that you do. As long as you know that that's a part of your life, and when those other addictions, those bad habits come back knocking, you know what I mean? You don't listen because you're too busy doing the good stuff. Good morning, Magda. Good morning to you. Yeah, Kat, you have to keep busy. You have to keep your body and mind busy. Because if you're not busy, idle time, you know what I mean? The wheels start turning, and sometimes it's not good. We go to a dark place. Man Bear's a golfer. All right. I got into golf a few years back. I was golfing all the time. I got crazy with that. I actually live in an area where there's several golf courses, and I used to do a lot of afternoon golfing. I'd wait for the twilight rate. You know what I mean? I'd go do like 9 holes or sometimes 18 holes for like $15. So, but I kind of gave it up. But cheers to you. If golf keeps you occupied, by all means, get you outside, getting some fresh air. You're not locked up in the house. At least you're moving your body a little bit. Absolutely right, Goose. That's what it does. Without a doubt. You're absolutely right. Well, Vizan, you know, they say, right, quote unquote, that regular physical exercise has what am I trying to say? When it comes to things like SSRIs and you know, medications they give you for depression and stuff, exercise works just as well, if not better, right? To brighten your mood or to, you know, whatever benefits. There's a lot of downsides to those medications. I don't see any downsides to exercise other than the occasional pulled muscles, some sore muscles and things like that. But when you get into those medications, those things forever alter your brain chemistry. And they throw those things at people like they're throwing a bag of M&Ms. Here you go. No, don't worry about it. And they'll tell you, nah, side effects? Not really. Bullshit. You are completely altering your brain chemistry forever. So that's a slippery slope. Yeah, I'm telling you, Bear. It was, yeah, $15 was right. You know, twilight. I mean, and I'm going later in the year, so you have less time. Maybe I would get 9 or 10 holes in for that. You know what I mean? Because it's the fall, so the sun's going down early. But I would always do that. And they're pretty nice courses. And on the flip side, you go there on a Saturday morning, and they're charging you $110 to golf on the same course. So it's ridiculous. Guys, I'm really cold. I got to get a rep in here. I got to get a set in. Yeah, V's, you can, good for you, man. I'm really glad to hear that. Stay away from those medications as long as you can. But as far as the other things, man, when it comes to the blood sugar and diabetes, even all of these chronic things that we have, so much of them can be cured with proper diet, and the exercise always helps. But I always say, you know, it's a two-pronged approach. The nutrition is always going to be number one, because the health manifests from the inside out. So if you're pouring shit down your throat and you think you're going to go and do push-ups and that's going to fix it, never going to happen. It's never going to happen. So you have to do your best to put the good stuff in your body. Exercise is a supplement to that, in that it's going to help you if you're looking to burn a few extra calories, but the exercise is going to make you stronger. It's going to help your heart health. It's going to make you more flexible, more mobile, all that stuff. So it's a two-pronged approach. So good on you. Old school, good morning. You're not kidding. I mean, it's crazy. I got to be honest with you. You know, I got a little crazy with it. I did get kind of addicted to golf. I was going all the time, always buying clubs, and you know, I thought I was better than I was, like most guys. But I kind of got away from it. But some of these prices that they charge. I've been on vacation in Florida, $250. Like, come on. And I just said, like, you know, I have some golf courses by me in northern New Jersey where I live, and they're decent courses. And I would go golf for 15, 20, 22 bucks and things like that. But then you go prime time on a Sunday or a Saturday, you know, morning or on a holiday, and they're charging you over $100 for the exact same course. Good morning, Gio. Thanks, brother. Hope you're doing well. I know, old school, I got to be careful with that thing. I have my car right here with the trunk open, so if I see the cops, I'm going to toss it right in the trunk and close it. Yeah, man, it is. It really is an expensive sport. And again, you get into, I mean, I know guys that are really into it over the years, and like they were buying new drivers and just for like a driver, what are you paying? I don't even remember now, but it was hundreds of dollars for like one club, thinking that that's gonna, I had one guy who would buy, oh my God, like every time I spoke to him, he's buying a new driver. He gave me like 3 of his old ones. And when I say old, they were brand new. I priced them and they were worth hundreds of dollars. And he thought he was doing himself a favor by just, I mean, the guy had the money to throw away, so good on him, but, and it kind of benefited me when I was playing because I got some free clubs. But it is an expensive sport. All right, guys, we'll get a couple of more sets in. I'm just doing 3, 6, 9, 12. 3 pulls, 6 pushes, 9 squats, and then 12 knee to elbows for the core, and a couple of swings with the mace belt. Yeah, I watched those guys too. Yeah. And then Tiger came along and shook everything up, right? I don't even know. I haven't watched it in quite some time. But if I was watching it when it was like Tiger, Rory, McIlroy, you know, those guys. But I haven't watched it in some time. I don't pay attention to it. I really don't pay attention to any sports anymore. I was a big football fan, American football, back in the day. Back in the drinking days. And I lived very close to the stadium where the New York Jets and New York Giants played. And I had season tickets for a little bit. And they were just really drunk fests going to those games. Total waste of time. But I don't pay attention to any of it anymore, to be honest with you. Especially with all the politics involved and all the woke bullshit. And I have no use for it. I do my own thing. So guys, we're just doing some push-pull squat. I got the weighted vest on. Just doing 3 pulls, 6 pushes, 9 squats, and then 12 knee to elbows, and throwing in a couple of swings with the mace bell over there, which is a great tool. A great tool to build some upper body strength. It's going to work on your grip strength, forearm strength. It's going to help with your shoulders. Really, you have to tighten up everything when you're swinging that. You have to keep a tight grip on it, so it's really working the entire upper body and helping out with the core a little bit too, so it's a good tool. Appreciate all you guys being here. Everybody hit that like button, whoever subscribed. I really appreciate that too. Even if you didn't and you're just lurking and watching, I'll take that. I appreciate it. Hope everybody's getting their reps in. Do one more round here. yeah, at least we're moving, right? You're doing something, right? And nobody's going to tell me that there's no benefit to body weight workouts. You're not. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to listen to it. You can't build muscle, and if you're not in the gym, you know, deadlifting 500, you're not strong. It's just nonsense. But yeah, as long as you're doing something, I'm a fan of, like you've seen me do those down schemes, 10 down, 20 down. At the end of the day, you're still doing 100 reps, you're still doing 200, whatever the rep count is going to be. But it's just a psychological thing, because you start off, wow, this is hard, but with each set, it kind of gets easier. So it kind of keeps you a little motivated. At least with me, that's the way I feel. It's all a mind game, whatever you want to do. But yeah, just do that. Just do some push, pull, squat, hinge. That's it. The basics, the fundamentals, right? You don't need a barbell with 500 pounds on it. You have your body, you have the ground. God gave you gravity, right? So definitely keeps the mood up, without a doubt. But I mean, that's true. It really is. And again, that's something that nobody's ever going to argue with me. That exercise is definitely a mood lifter. It makes you feel better. People that are depressed, we're all depressed for different reasons, and we react differently to it. But there's so much to be said just being out and having the sun hitting your face, breathing fresh air, moving your body. There's no comparison. I mean, there's nothing better. It's what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be locked in. We take kids and put them in school and put them in these little chairs and say, don't move, don't talk, little kids. And then if they don't listen and they're all, and then you're feeding them tons of sugar. We don't want to go down this rabbit hole right now, but you look at what kids eat and they're bouncing off the wall. And then they tell the parents, your kid is hyperactive. He needs Adderall. He needs some type of drug. It's insanity. It's insanity. Then you grow up and you get a job, and if you're an office worker and you sit in fluorescent lights, you're in an office, a building where there's no fresh air, it's just recirculated air. It's insanity. It's just insanity. So yeah, anytime you can get outside, move your body, do some exercise, it's going to benefit you. It's going to make you feel better, no doubt. Good morning to Crusades of Motivation. My good friend Aldo, shout out to Omaha, Nebraska. Guys, make sure you check out my man Aldo on Crusades of Motivation. Check out his channel. This guy does, talk about being outside and getting into the reps. Check him out, see what he's up to. T-Dog, 1 mile, a half a block a day. Anything you do to get yourself outside and move your body and breathe fresh air is good. And if you're doing 8 miles a day, I mean, I'd say that's well above average. Not many people are getting out walking 8 miles. So if you're doing that, I commend you. Yeah, Goose, I'm about just mixing it up. I get bored very, very easily, so I have to mix things up. Again, like I talk about, I've said this many times before, I see guys, I'll go to the gym, and you'll see guys with like the marble notebooks or whatever, and they're doing their sets and reps, and they're writing everything down. And if I ask that guy what he did, 3 months prior on Tuesday afternoon, what was your workout? He could flip back and tell me everything he did. That's not me. You know what I mean? I always have a general idea of what I want to do, but a lot of times it's just like kind of flying by the seat of my pants. Case in point, I came here this morning. What am I going to do? I don't know. I thought about it on the ride over. I got out, I warmed up, and I just came up with, let's do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And again, it sets the trajectory for the rest of your day. You know, some people, all right, if you have to work out at night, if you have to work out in the afternoon, do it whenever you can, without a doubt. No excuses. But to do it early in the morning, it really does. You feel different for the entirety of the day, of the rest of the day. How we feeling, brother? Aldo, how you feeling this morning, my friend? ¿Cómo está? Mi hermano Aldo. All right, you're back at it this morning. Okay, I'll be looking. Okay, so you break it up, T-Dog. That's good. Yeah, man, that's even better. That's even better. Yeah, Goose, I mean, whatever, you know, again, everybody's schedule is different. I'm not always here in the morning, you know. Last week I was at the gym till 12:30 at night. The other night I was out on my porch till whatever time. So it's whenever you can, you know what I mean? But on those mornings that you can get, and that's good too, that mobility stuff. I just did, I couldn't sleep yesterday morning. I got up nice and early and I did a quick 30-40 minute yoga routine. And that really opens you up. I mean, it's great. And the mobility and flexibility is very, very important. It's something that I think the vast majority of people don't even think about. I know I didn't in my younger days. I would walk into the gym when I was just pretty much strictly lifting weights. Maybe 5 minutes on an elliptical, and then I'd jump on a bench and do a few reps, and that was my warm-up. Just insanity. You have to think about your mobility, your flexibility, you know, the healthy tendons and your ligaments and things like that, and the stretching, the mobility work, that all plays into that, you know. And even when any type of exercise that you're doing, if you're all stiff and locked up, you don't have any real range of motion when you're doing these exercises, you're not quite getting the benefit, you know. T-Dog, that's a big one, my friend. You got to cut that smoking out. You got to cut that smoking out. 7 to 8 days in, all right, you keep it up forever. Those things are the devil. Those things are the devil. There's a lot of devils running around, but that's one of the biggest ones. All right, brother, I'm glad you're better. Get out there and get them in. So you started young like most people, T-Dog, right? Most kids. But good for you for giving it up. Stick with it. Stay strong. Stay strong. You can do it. Yeah, I mean, hey, Goose, we always go, right? There's always peaks and valleys. You know, we're always going to have that downtime where things get in the way. I understand that. But then we have to get right back on a horse, because you take a day off, it turns into 2, into 3, into 4, then it turns into a week, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then before you know it, we have a disaster on our hands. You know what I mean? So every little bit, like we talked before, right? With those habits, if you don't keep those good habits up, some bad habits going to creep back in. So you always have to beat them back with those good habits and just keep doing them as much as you can. Good morning to the servant. Bless you too. I appreciate you being here. Oh, it's my friend Orlandis. Shout out to Georgia. My friend Orlandis down in Georgia. 15,000 steps. Wow, that's great work, brother. Great work. Proud of you. I'm proud of you. That's good. All right, guys, we're just doing push-pull squat. I got the weight vest on. 3 pulls, 6 pushes, 9 squats, 12 knees to elbow, and a couple of swings with my trusty mace belt here to build up some upper body strength. Yeah, Orlandis. See, everybody, a lot of people that were smokers, and then they started vaping thinking they were doing something good for themselves. That's poison. You're still introducing that nicotine. God only knows what else you're inhaling into your lungs with that stuff. It's all poison. So good on you for quitting that, man. You're absolutely right, T-Dog. He didn't give us this body to keep it weak. You got to stay as strong as you can. As strong as you can. Especially you guys out there that have kids. You know, I always say your kids are going to do what you do, not what you say. So you got to be the example. Right? Fuck LeBron James and Tom Brady. Your kids shouldn't be looking up to that. Your kids should be looking up to you. You should be the strong role model. Not these clowns on TV that are just shills for big corporations and, you know, on and on. You're the role model. You're the guy. You have kids, your kids should be looking at you. They shouldn't be staring at a TV, you know, worrying about LeBron James and any of these other clowns, which is what they are. I don't know, Orlandis. The mace belt, I don't find it that easy, my friend. It's a great workout, for sure. What's up, JB? Good morning to you. Salute. T-Dog, I hear that a lot. A lot of people say that they were smokers, that after they quit, they can't stand. I've heard that many, many times from, I was never a smoker, but other people have told me that once they quit, they can't stomach, you know, the smell of it anymore, which I always found so odd, you know, but I guess you just, I don't know, the addiction's so strong and you get so used to the smell. But yeah, it's, you know, thankfully, a lot of people have given up smoking, but you can tell in a second if you come up, especially if you're inside and you're next to a person that's a smoker. I mean, it's horrendous. I always hated that. They are absolutely false idols, T-Dog. Absolutely false idols. Good morning, Tino. What's up? That's a fact, Tino. That's an absolute fact. Aldo, mi hermano, call me later. We'll talk later. Good morning, Brian. Shout out to you, brother. There you go, guys. GP just hit it right on the head. Just like we say, right? You could yell at your kids and scream at them and tell them to do this and tell them to do that. But if you're doing the complete opposite, kids know a hypocrite when they see one. The smallest of kids, they know exactly what a hypocrite is and they can sense a hypocrite. So if you're drinking and you're smoking and you don't exercise and you're out of shape and you're laying on a couch with a beer in your hands and you're gonna, you know, try and tell your kids that it's not right to do this and it's not right to do that, they're gonna be looking right at you going, what are you talking about? Who are you to tell me what to do? And meanwhile, they're on TV watching, wow, man, look at LeBron, look at Tom Brady. I sure hope Tom wins another Super Bowl. Fuck these guys. They're doing fine. They're doing fine. You work on yourself, and again, I'll go back to it. Especially you guys with kids, with families, you got to be the guy. You got to be the guy. Fucking LeBron James and this guy and that. I don't want to get on that stuff. Orlandis, the mace bell, when you swing that, like I explained before, the way I was doing it, there's plenty of other exercises you could do with it. I haven't really branched out with it. I just kind of do the swings. But you're really going to work your entire upper body, your grip strength, your forearm strength, your shoulders, your core, because you have to stay nice and tight when you're swinging that. You can't be loose or you're really gonna pull something out. You know, it puts a lot of pressure on your upper body when you're swinging it. Get another round in here, guys. Peel this vest off, guys. I've had this on for almost an hour and a half now. It's only 30 pounds, but it starts weighing down on you after a while. All right, bro, I appreciate you being here, brother. Thank you, man. Have a good day. Yeah, Goose. I did have a transformation with that. And it's funny, the story behind that. Thanks, T-Dog. I appreciate you being here, brother. Stay strong. Stay strong. You can do it. You can do it. All right, get some rest, brother. And keep going strong. Hopefully we'll see you again. I don't have a regular schedule when I'm on here live, but I'm trying to be a little more regular with this, so hopefully we'll see you again soon. Stay well. Yeah, good. So the P90X, I actually did that with my son back in the day, and he was 16 at the time, 15 or 16. So he had a great transformation too. He lost about 40 pounds when we did that. And I sent his pictures in, but you had to be 18. They wouldn't accept him because he wasn't 18. And I sent mine in, and I wound up winning a couple of bucks. They gave me $1,000 for the transformation, so it was a good surprise. And those 2 pictures that you saw, I got a lot of flack over that. You know, people saying it was bullshit, but that was actually 80 some odd. It wasn't even 90 days. That the difference in those 2 pictures that you see, because I took the picture a few days into the program. That second picture, the final picture, it was on the last day, the 90th day. I finished up with the workout, and I walked in, got my phone, and I snapped a picture. That was right after the final workout. So the picture that you see, that transformation, I did that in the 90 days, but the picture was actually, it might be 84 or 85 days difference in those 2 pictures, believe it or not. Yeah, there was no trick photography there, and again, I was accused of that, you know, but it really was. It was did that right before, like I said, a few days into the program. And then that picture on the right, that final picture, I took right after the last workout on day 90. And that's exactly what that was. So it's a tough program, and we did it. You know, I was working at the time, and there were a couple of days where I missed a workout, and my son and I actually did 2 workouts in one day, because we promised ourselves that we were going to get all the work, we were going to do it within that 90-day span, and we did it, you know, so it was good. I did change my diet. So here's the thing. The first 30 days, I actually have pictures. That the first picture, I have a 30-day picture, a 60-day picture, and then that 90-day picture that you saw on the internet. The first 30 days, I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I was just kind of cutting back. This is really before I got into the whole nutrition thing. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just eat a little bit less. And then the second month, I got a little better. I wasn't really, I didn't track food, but I thought what I was eating was better, if that makes sense. I cut out the processed food. I was still eating a little less. I wasn't counting my calories. It was probably about 50 to 60 days in when I really got crazy. I got MyFitnessPal, and I started tracking. When I tell you, every morsel of food I put in my mouth, I tracked. I knew exactly how much of everything I was eating. I set my macros. I was eating 50% protein, 30% carbohydrates, 20% fat, down to a T. I had it down. And in that last month when I did that, that's when I lost most of the weight. I lost 15 pounds in a month by tracking my food. I didn't lose that much weight. My body started to change in the first couple of months a little bit, but it was that last month where it really got drastic, and it was only because I was tracking the way I was. Congrats, Orlando. Good for you, man. All right, we'll take that. Yeah, that was definitely, congrats again, Orlando. I'm proud of you, man. 289. Good for you. Keep going. But yeah, it was a learning process, right? And like we say, everybody, you get that analysis paralysis. Well, I'm going to start and I did it. I talk about like with YouTube and how I many things in my life. I put it off because, well, I don't know enough. I want to make sure, everybody wants to make sure everything's perfect. But my son and I just jumped, and we started that the day before Thanksgiving. I kid you not. It was the day before Thanksgiving, because I'm tired of this bullshit with the, the whole New Year's resolution stuff and New Year, New Me. We're starting today, and we started the day before Thanksgiving. We worked out on Thanksgiving that year, and then again, I learned about the nutrition as I went along, and then that was the first time that I was introduced to that MyFitnessPal, and I was talk about being obsessed. I mean, I was really crazy with it. I was getting a little aggravated with myself. I was being so obsessed. I didn't put anything in my mouth that I didn't weigh. I had the food scale. So there's something to be said for it. So you can get the results, but just start. Just start. You know what I mean? And you're going to learn on your way. And it can definitely be done. Definitely, without a doubt. It comes down to one word: consistency. If you're doing it consistently, it's almost like you can't not get better. And especially today, the information is out there. You know, I mean, a lot of stuff on the internet, a lot of people are really full of shit, and it's a lot of junk. But if you sift through it, you're going to find what works for you, but you have to do it consistently. And the results will always be there. Will always be there if you're consistent. That's a great quote. That is a great quote. Ignorance is definitely a choice, no doubt. The information is there, and it's readily available. You know? I remember when I was a kid and you had to do a report in school. I used to go to the library, get the encyclopedia, find the information in the encyclopedia, then go copy it on the photocopy machine, bring that home, and then handwrite, plagiarize, handwrite it. Now you have AI. It's just, it's unbelievable to think of. You can't really get your head around it, but the information is always going to be there. And really, like I say, even when it comes to exercise, everybody gets there's so much out there. You know, this guy says do it this way. This guy says this is the best diet. This guy said this is the best exercise. Whole foods, meat, fish, eggs, some dairy if you tolerate it, and then you find out what works best for you. When it comes to exercise, you do a push, you do a pull, you do a squat, you do a hinge. You get on the ground, you do a push-up, you do some type of pull move, basic stuff, and then you build from there. But everybody always wants to find out. You're so far gone, and it took you, in most cases, years and years and years to ruin your body, ruin yourself physically and mentally, and then you want to fix yourself in a week. So you're looking for the pill, the potion, the hack, the shortcut, and you'll pay anything. And people know that. They prey on people when it comes to that stuff, you know? But if you just start with the basics and do it consistently and give it time. But we're, you know, as much as everybody, we have all this information and everything's at our fingertips today, people want everything yesterday. They don't want to work for it. And it's so much more satisfying, so much more gratifying. And it just changes your life when you work for something over time. You know, just I've seen it like when I was a kid growing up, how many guys I knew were handed money, were say their parents passed away or some family, and they were handed a ton of money. They go through it like water because they have no idea. They don't understand the value of it because they never worked for it. You know, and if you never took care of your health and you bought into this bullshit and you're eating processed food and you're smoking and you're getting high and everything is like convenience and comfort and consumption, and then when it comes time and you say, oh man, I gotta turn this around. The idea of doing it consistently and doing it the right way and putting hard work in, it doesn't compute with people. They want a quick fix. There's got to be a pill for this, and there is. And again, they'll sell the Ozempic and everything else that's on the market. Everybody always wants to know, what supplement can I take to build muscle? Eat some eggs and work out consistently. Guarantee you'll build some muscle, but it takes time. But people don't want to put that time in, and it's unfortunate. Yeah, AI really is a gift and a curse, so they say, right? But it's a part of life. It's here to stay for sure. And social media, it's just another addiction that we have. I mean, I'm guilty. Here I am on YouTube, but I try and curb my screen time and stay away from it. But again, you have to pick and choose because there's so much garbage. There's so much garbage, Yeah, social media has taken over the world, though. I mean, everybody. Every place you go. New York City, one of the busiest cities in the world. Like, you could literally go there and see people crossing the street, and as they're in the crosswalk, in the street with cars going every which way, and they're looking down at the phone. It's unreal. It really mesmerized. People are just mesmerized. And one of my biggest pet peeves too is in the gym. You see it every single solitary day. There's not a day I can go to a gym and not see it, where you'll see a guy or a girl do some type of exercise, and then they'll sit down and the phone comes out and they sit and they scroll. I've never even ventured over to TikTok, Orlandis. Well, maybe that's part of it, Kat. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that people are just like trying to tamp down their anxiety a little bit and stare at the phone. I'm sure for some people it does get into that, but I would think that all of this stimulation, if you're an anxious person, all of this stimulation, I think, would even make it worse, you know, especially when you're away from it, because you're really, what you're doing is you're building up another addiction, because you're anxious to begin with, and now you're addicting yourself to all of this, because you get those dopamine hits, right? You're staring at the phone and looking at all these, and the attention span is, they say, is about, what, like 8 seconds? People have like, you have about 8 seconds, and then they just scroll away. You know, so again, it's just that nobody wants to do anything, and they want everything now. Give it to me now. And they could look, and they're just scrolling and scrolling. But when you do that, you know, you're building up another addiction to that. And then you're anxious to begin with. And now when you don't have your phone to look at, now it's something else to be anxious about. See, to my point, doing sit-ups while on the phone. See, he didn't even wait till the set was over. It's crazy. All right, guys. I think I'm done for the day here. I appreciate everybody that's been here today. Appreciate everybody's feedback. Everybody that hit that like button. Those of you that subscribed. I really do appreciate each and every one of you that take your time to pop in, say hello, lurk in the background and watch a little bit, whatever you do. Hope everybody stays safe. Make sure you get your reps in, stay healthy, and hopefully I will talk to you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys.